So are you just studying it for like a linguistic perspective, or do you actually want to be able to speak like authentic Kansai Ben?
I mean, I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but I think, I mean, my main purpose now is kind of just, yeah, the curiosity about it. And I think it would be cool. Like, well, one thing I have been doing is like listening to a lot of like Kansai Ben and trying to be able to hear what's going on in the pitch, so that it's not just like knowledge that I have in a book. I want to be able to like actually hear it and know like, oh, yep, that was a drop, that was a rise, and it happened because of these reasons. And so I think that would be cool. And I do think that doing that might have some benefits for my standard Japanese, because, for example, one thing I've noticed is that, like I just said, in standard Japanese, whether a word starts high or starts low isn't part of the pitch accent. And so I don't think my brain is very attuned to paying attention to that. And so when I listen to Kansai, I'll notice that I can pick up on the drops pretty easily, like where the pitch drops, but I'll like subconsciously ignore whether a word starts high or starts low. So I'll be like listening and I'll hear a drop and I'll be like, oh, I heard that drop. What pattern was that? And then I'll go, well, to know what pattern it was, I have to know whether it started high or started low. And I have no recollection of that because my brain probably just ignores that information, basically. So I think training myself to hear Kansai pitch will train my brain to pay attention to whether it starts high or starts low. And I think that might have some kind of carryover benefits in Tokyo, where maybe I'll naturally notice more that I would otherwise. And I think also just like learning a different pitch accent system might help my brain go like, oh, there's like different things going on here, and it will maybe have some kind of like pitch accent awakening effect or something. I don't know. So yeah, a lot of it's also just the experiment of it, because I don't know anyone. I've never talked to anyone who's like actually studied multiple pitch accent systems. So yeah, for me, it's kind of just an exploration, right, and I'll see where it takes me. But and I don't know if I'll ever try to like fully speak Kansai Ben, but at least I could like, do a 30-second long impression that would have perfect pitch accent, and then that would probably, be a really cool party trick too. So.
Right. Yeah, I think people, most of the time, whatever accent you learn in the beginning, it's really hard to break out of that. Like, I met this one girl who dated a person from Kansai for like 5 years, and she can only speak in Kansai Ben.
Yeah, I think that's really true. Yeah, I also have a friend who, like, the first person he dated spoke Kansai Ben, and although now he speaks standard Japanese, he still has some little quirks that like that he has a really hard time like weeding out. But at the same time, there's British actors who can play American characters in movies, right? And do like a perfect American accent. Yeah. So I know it has to be possible. That's like how I think about it, is I'll probably have like a natural way of speaking, and then I could like put on an accent. And in the ideal world, yeah, I'll just be able to like switch it on and off. In reality, I'm sure that if I go too far into Kansai, it will like negatively affect my standard Japanese, and I'll end up just like, because, it's impossible to keep them totally separate, So maybe I'll regret it, but again, it's all part of the grand experiment. So even if that happens, I'll be able to tell people, no, don't do that. It will mess you up. And I'll actually, know for sure.
I guess in movies, though, they probably take like multiple takes trying to nail that English accent. And they probably have like a guy saying the sentence like, okay, how does it go again?
Maybe. But at the same time, it's kind of like, because I've thought about this, like if you're filming an American movie, like I remember there was some movie where Emma Watson was playing an American character or something, right? And actually, I feel like her American accent was not perfect in that movie, actually. So this probably isn't a good example. But in this case, right, there's so many different American actors to choose from. Why would they go out of their way to choose a British actor if it was going to be a bigger hassle? Because they'd have to be like taking things multiple times for the accent, right? I assume they got to be like almost perfect for them to even consider, going with them in the first place.
Yeah, makes sense.
So. But who knows? Again, you got it. Plus, I'd also, even if it is true that actors can do it, I'm not an actor, so there's a good chance that, the actors could do it, but I can't do it. So, there's that as well. But anyway, yeah, like I said, we'll all know in time, for the better or for the worse.
Maybe you'll become an actor in the process, who knows?
Yeah, first white guy to play a native Kansai role in Japanese movies.
And nobody mentions the white part. You're supposed to be fully Japanese.
Yeah, that of course, yeah, that would be amazing if that happened. So I'm gonna actually, they say shoot for the moon and you'll land on the stars or something. I should make that my goal, and then even if I don't achieve that, maybe at the least I could do like a good Kansai Ben impression or something. But
you have a short break from the channel. Next thing you know, you're in those top of Japanese movies.